Thank you, Senator Erwin.
Yeah. Mr. Chair, regarding, babalikan ko lang po, it was asked a while ago, yung status po ng case noong
Opo,
empleyado na
yes.
na-entrap sa Taguig. Is undergoing, an administrative case was filed against them. So it is undergoing investigation, and they were preventively suspended for 90 days. Ongoing po ang formal investigation and hearing sa kaso nila. And malapit na pong mag-render ng decision on that case.
Sino
That is
pong
the case
magde-decide? Ang office po ninyo para kung sila ay tanggalin?
Yes po. Opo. Internal po ito sa Bureau of Internal Revenue, yung admin case po. Although I understand there's also a pending criminal case with the Department of Justice.
Opo. Alright, and then I just want to remind po si RDO natin, kayo ho yun, Taguig, hindi po ba?
Opo, opo.
You know, sir, transfer reshuffling of personnel, dapat hindi po ito excuse na hindi po ninyo alam. Dahil taon nyo na po ito nangyari po sa inyo, you should know what's happening sa inyo pong district office. Ano po?
Opo.
Hindi po yung sabihin, hindi ko po panahon ho yan.
Hindi po. Kasi
Panahon po naman ba? Yeah, I know,
Opo.
pero dapat po alam ho ninyo when you take over, ano ho ba problema dito sa district office na ito? Nakakamit pa tayo ng target? Marami ba magnanakaw dito? Marami ba mga manluloko na negosyante? Moving on, RDO 40 ng Cubao, are you here?
Yes, sir. Good
Kayo
morning.
po, Miss Yolanda Zafra.
Good morning
Okay.
po.
Are you familiar? O nasa posisyon pa ba ito si Crisanto Olazo? Group supervisor po siya. Nandito po ba sa inyo ito?
Your Honor, hindi po siya naka-assign sa RDO 40 Cubao.
Nasaan po siya kaya?
Answer, sir. Nag-retire na po siya. Last assignment niya po is sa VAT audit section.
Sa VAT audit section. Kailan po siya
Yes, sir.
nag-retire?
October
Ditong October lang.
2025. sir.
Kaya ako natanong, yes, kaya ako natanong, Mr. Chair, may kaso po ito na charge po ito ng 2016 with grave misconduct over allegations of corruption. Ayun po, na-transfer ito from Negros na lumipat po dito sa Metro Manila. So, ang tanong po natin dyan, dito po sa BIR, former Commissioner Lumagi, anong actions po ninyo pag yung mga tao ninyo, namomonitor ba ninyo yung mga ganito, may mga kaso? Karamihan ng empleyado ng BIR, corruption po ang kaso. Buti sana kung murder, rape, kung ano pa dyan. Kaso mo, ang kaso po lagi, corruption. Ano nangyayari? Or, let me ask this question. Let me rephrase this, Commissioner Lumagi. How many employees were charged or were dismissed during your watch sa BIR?
Ano rin po, no, total ng mga na formal charge and including yung mga decisions na execute po, total po niya nasa mga 132. And also, yung pagka po kasi merong mga complaints, we definitely act on it. Ang problema po kasi minsan yung mga ibang nagsusumbong po sa atin ay hindi willing magbigay ng ebidensya at mag-execute ng affidavit. Kaya hindi po nauuwi sa formal na cases. Kaya wala rin po kaming magawa dahil ayaw talaga. So, for all those na merong dokumento, katulad po nung na-entrap po doon sa Taguig, ay immediately po naggawa po tayo ng investigation doon, and I immediately issued a preventive suspension order and nag-file po agad tayo ng formal charge a few days after. So ganyan po natin na siniseryoso lahat ng mga complaints, but meron pa rin po tayo yung isang nagsumbong sa bandang Caloocan po na may extortion at willing din magpakita, kaya naman po sinamahan natin siya. Ako mismo nandun at pinakulong po natin yung taong nangingikil. Tapos marami pa po yung ibang empleyado po na namimeke rin ng mga kasabot ng taxpayer sa Pandaraya. Pinahuli rin po natin yon at kinasuhan rin po natin ng kasong kriminal and also administrative cases. So as long as everything is properly documented and willing talaga magsampa ng complaint, ay ina-actionan po natin yan. Kasi nga po, I recognize the problem. Itong sinasabi niyo po, tama naman po yan. Kaya nga, isa yan sa naging focus or attention area nung panahon ko po na sisiryosohin po natin at alam po nila, sinasabi ko po yan na kapag kami ginawang kalokohan ay talagang hindi po natin palulusutin.
Ang tanong po natin, itong si Olazo, kare-retire lang ng October, so tatanggap pa po ito ng mga benepisyo? I mean, may kaso po ito noong 2016 ng misconduct over allegations of corruption. So, may matatanggap po siya na pensyon?
Kapag ka po, depende po sa maging resulta kasi po, didesisyonan pa rin naman po yan. Kapag ka napatunayan po na may liability po siya, I think isa po sa mga consequences nun ay yung forfeiture ng kanilang mga benefits.
My last question now is, before I give it to Senator Bam. Attorney Lumagi, is Mrs. Lumagi an employee of the BIR? Attorney Lumagi?
Hindi po, Mr. Chair.
Hindi siya. I'll reserve my next question.
Thank you,
Mr. Chair.
Senator Sir Erwin. Senator Bam is recognized.
Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Unang-una po, let me premise by saying that in the previous campaign this year, sa lahat po na naikutan ko, local chamber, Philippine chamber, Chinese chamber, ito man ay sa probinsya o dito po sa syudad, grabe po talaga ang complaints ng mga negosyante pagdating sa BIR at sa LOA. No? Paulit-ulit po yan. Yung mga LOA, yung mga assessment, walang basihan, or kung masyado mang mataas, ginagawang mataas para lang po mag-settle. No? So yun po, paulit-ulit yan. And I'd like to commend Senators Tulfo and Ejercito for taking on this issue. We'd also like to commend the new commissioner and the new secretary for taking this issue head-on. Pero gaya po na nakita natin sa DPWH, kapag pupunta po tayo dito, talagang posibleng marami ho tayong ma-uncover. No? At una pa lang ito, Mr. Chairman, if I'm not mistaken, unang hearing pa lang ito. So let me ask questions first with regard to policy. No? Ilang LOA po ang naibigay for 2023, 2024, and 2025? I understand na kukonti lang naman ang natatamaang taxpayer. But how many LOAs were actually meted out, no? Commissioner Mendoza or former Commissioner Lumagi, baka may mga stats po kayo or Secretary Go?
Yes, Mr. Chair. For 2023, a total of 62,462 letters of authority were issued. In 2024, 75,510. And from January to October of this year, a total of 82,145, Mr. Chair.
Are these LOAs protected by any privacy rules or are these public data?
Yeah. We cannot divulge on the particular taxpayer information
Why not?
under the unlawful divulgence rule of National Internal Revenue Code. Meron ho kasi tayong provision sa National Internal Revenue Code na certain information involving taxpayers cannot be divulged by the Bureau of
But
Internal Revenue.
Mr.
Subject-
Chairman, am I correct that this information can be provided to the committee in an executive session? So,
Yes,
ganito po, Commissioner. Yung sinasabi po ni...
Senator Bam, just to address that particular issue, no? Baka pwedeng redacted na lang.
Yes.
Public hearing, redacted na lang natin yung mga dapat na hindi ipakita sa public.
No,
Pwede ba yun?
Yeah.
Information that are, sensitive or confidential, tapan na lang natin.
Yes, Mr.
Salit
Chair.
na papasok pa tayo, mag-executive session pa tayo. Baka pwedeng ganun
yung
lang.
pangalan po ba ng kumpanya, is that already protected by secrecy?
That's covered, Mr.
It
Chair.
is, okay.
Opo.
So ito po yung intention ko eh. So unang-una, yung nabanggit ni former Commissioner Henares kanina, kung may natanggap na LOA na wala naman sa listahang ito, hindi yun totoong LOA. No? May nagsascam sa inyo. And these fake LOAs might actually come from officials of BIR. No? Aminin na po natin. So unang-una, kung transparent po tayo, makikita natin kaagad kung totoong LOA ba to o hindi. No? That's my intention, kaya dapat itong mailabas sana. So people can check kung itong LOA ba na to ay talagang valid o hindi. Pangalawa, baka po kayo na po ang mag-analyze, ma-analyze natin kung merong nire-repeat na ino-audit kada taon. Sabi nga po ni Commissioner Henares, kung kada taon pare-pareho ang ino-audit, posibleng may red flag po doon. Are you already doing an analysis on the past 3, 4, 5 years, 6 years worth of data, Mr. Commissioner?
Yes, part po ng trabaho ng meron po tayong ginawang technical working group that will propose recommendations on our audit processes. At kasama po ito sa tinitingnan nila.
Sige, and we would suggest that maybe the committee might also take a look at this to provide its own analysis, di ba? Isang tanong, kunyari, ano po sa mga lugar po sa ating bansa ang pinakamaraming LOA na ini-issue? You know, these are questions that we can, when answered, can help us find out more, di ba? Pero siguro po, kasi alam ko sila, Senator Javin, Senator Erwin, humihingi ng LOA, kwentong LOA, and I know that many in the business sector are hesitant to come out. But if we had this level of transparency, Mr. Commissioner, palagay ko, baka po maraming mahikayat na maglabas rin ng kanilang kwento pagdating po sa panggigipit o pagdating po sa pangingikil, no? Sige po, do you have that data? Which area issued the most LOA?
We have the most number of LOAs from these revenue regions, Mr. Chair. Manila, Caloocan City, Quezon City, South NCR, Makati City.
And probably because mas maraming negosyo dito
Yes,
po sa Metro Manila. Okay. Ano po yung...
Interjection,
SP.
Senator Aquino. Mr. Chairman, with your permission. Kasi binanggit mo yung they can check. You can check kung yung LOA ay nasa listahan, tama, nasa system, di ba? Paano kung yung businessman, hindi ba pwedeng yung business owner pwedeng ma-check niya kung yung LOA ay nandun sa system?
I don't think kung may access ang external stakeholders po doon sa system. But meron po kaming system, yung ELAMS, kasi ang mga LOAs naman po natin are electronically generated.
Oo,
So
pero,
meron po
di
tayong
ba,
system na...
Para ma-check ninyo na kung nasa system.
Kami po malalaman po namin.
Correct. Kayo.
Pag meron hong taxpayer na nagdududa kung yung ba talagang tinanggap niya na letter of authority ay
Oo.
authentic or talagang official, po pwede ho silang pumunta sa opisina namin at
That'll take
i-check
time.
namin.
That'll take time. Naipit na sila. Bago makarating sa inyo ang reklamo, hindi natin alam kung malapit sa inyo o hindi malapit sa UIR o baka yung may kinalaman din yung pagtatanungan niya. Diba? So, meron tayong kasabihan an ounce of prevention is a pound of cure. Beats a pound of cure. Prevention yun. Kung meron kayong system, pag-aralan nyo na maglagay ng system na pwedeng i-check ng business owner kung totoo yung LOA.
Yes.
Imbis na, malaking matulong nun siguro. Senator Aquino, thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner, nabanggit niyo po kanina, lahat ng LOA moving forward may approval po ninyo.
O yan po ang plano natin na before the law is issued, it has to be cleared first by the national office.
Okay, meaning kung meron pong LOA na may issue, na meron pong fraud o meron pong corruption, you are taking this on and you will be responsible for that process.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Yes, so I commend you for that, Attorney Mendoza. Mabigat po yan because 62,000 po yan. Napakarami pong cases po niyan. Now, ano po yung nais po natin makita? Unang-una, sana po wala na sa RDO ang kapangyarihan to audit on their own. And if you are taking this on, I would commend you for that, no? So ngayon po ang commissioner na mismo, meron na ring responsibilidad sa pagpili ng mga pwedeng ma-audit. So number one, okay po yan. Baka pwede po at the RDO level, we can institute a truly random a random manual audit. No, we've been talking about this for a long time. Na at the smaller area, it's truly randomized. Meaning wala pong mga pinag-iinitan o mga favorite na sinasabi nila. It's really random. The assessment is made, and if an audit is done and there's a proper payment, they cannot be audited again for 3 to 5 years. Hindi ho ba in the previous administration may ganong klaseng programa na may 3 to 5 years na hindi ka pwedeng ma-audit? Attorney Lumagi was raising his hand. Meron po ba?
In connection with that po, yung random na audit po, during my time kasi po, yung focus po na ginagawa natin ay yung one of the focus areas, digital transformation or yung digitalization. Ang isa pong ginagawa po natin, we were trying to make that yung tax modernization program. And we started it a few years ago, yung automated audit selection program, meaning wala pong human intervention ang pagpili ng LOA. And we started it because the entire tax modernization program has not yet finished and marami pang problema sa mga data kaya hindi po namin magawa 100%. But during my time, we started with 30% of the issuance ng isang supposedly isang like dito sa Batas. 30% po niyan dapat automated at walang human intervention ang pipili because of the meron po kasing criteria kung papaano ka po pa dapat ma-audit. Hindi naman ito walang kumbaga this is not entirely discretionary. Meron pong set criteria kung paano ka masasama sa audit. Like kunyari may below benchmark ka, subject ka for audit, may mga enumerated yan dun sa operations memorandum. So in-encode po yan sa computer para kapag ka-submit ng mga financial statements ng mga kumpanya, automated po, computer ang pipili. But again, since hindi pa perfect yung system, kaya talagang titingnan pa rin may manual audit selection.
Commissioner, is this connected to the fake receipts program or iba pa po ito sa fake receipts program?
Iba pa po yan. Yung sa fake receipts po kasi may nahuli tayo na yung sindikato po na nagmamanufacture, ang negosyo po talaga nila ay magtayo ng maraming kumpanya that would cater to all businesses. Iba't ibang industriya po yan. Ang negosyo talaga nila ay magbenta lang ng resibo. Ang bumibili ng mga resibo nila ay yung mga negosyante na gustong mandaya ng buwis by using these fake invoices to pad up their expenses as input VAT and as expense sa kanilang income tax. So yan po yung nahuli natin. Tapos ginamit po natin lahat ng mga data niyan, and that's where we partnered with the Ateneo Math Department na gumawa ng algorithm para mahuli po yung mga gumagamit ng mga peking resibo.
Okay.
So iba po yun.
What you're saying is with the proper use of technology, hindi kailangan random, pwedeng AI supported yung pagpili ng mga posibleng hindi nagbabayad ng buwis. That's what you're saying, no?
Yes po. That is really the aim. 100%
Okay.
na fully automated ang audit
Okay.
selection.
Attorney Kim?
I was reading their audit program. It did not put what situation you will be audited. No? So it just said it will be chosen by the system. No? But if you look at a system, the parameters should be inputted by individuals. So if you look at the audit program, the most recent, there's no such parameter. And then I just like to point out, this is the complaint of most taxpayers. No? It seems like the BR doesn't understand that business is a cycle. Today you might earn money, next year you might lose money. And just because you lost money, they will already say that hindi ka nagbabayad na tama. I mean, we should also understand the cyclical nature of businesses. No? So having just discrepancies, yeah, in a sense that there's a parameter, but you should study the industry also, no? Because the industry might not be doing well this year. So if it fell, why would you, right? So that's why some businesses felt that they're being harassed just because they did not increase their tax payment or revenue from previous year. But business is not like that. So yun yung problema, no? And I think those are the input that should be in the choosing of the, and about your question about not auditing after you audit. That's precisely my time. We did an audit program where we said you can audit only a company, a taxpayer, 2 consecutive years. You cannot audit the 3rd year unless you say he has committed fraud. Or if you audit him, your assessment should be big. If it's small, you have to explain why are you choosing him? Why did you choose him again for the 3rd year? And in that program also, we have a statement there that you should put all taxpayer who have never been audited in a parang tambiolo, no? And choose from it who you will audit, because you want just to make sure that they're in compliance. Not so much that you're saying that they're not complying. It's just to put them on their toes, no? That from time to time you will get audited.
That's a good point. Let me ask si Attorney Charlie. Meron na bang naloa na tama ang kanilang pagbabayad ng buwis?
Okay ko naman po.
Meron naman po, out of the
I'm sure
62,000.
Yeah,
Pinuntahan na examiner, tama ang binayad, at sabi, check, tama po kayo. Meron naman po.
may na-audit ho na wala namang findings.
Yes.
Meron din po.
Meron din.
Meron din po.
Okay, sige. So ano yung, maybe to wrap up, no? Ano yung mga nais natin makita? Unang-una, thank you, Commissioner, na inako ninyo yung responsibilidad na any LOA from now on needs your approval, no? Because right now, kung meron na pong magko-complain sa amin, alam na ho namin kung sinong pupuntahan, no? And in fact, Mr. Chairman, if we have a second hearing, I would really suggest we have the Philippine Chamber of Commerce. We have the different MSMED councils, kasi yung maliliit na negosyante po, sila po yung pinaka natatakot kapag nilalapitan po sila. No, our micro and small enterprises, feeling po nila walang mapuntahan, walang mahinga ng tulong. Sila po yung pinakatakot na takot kapag merong nangongorap po sa kanila. We invite the Chinese Chamber. Alam niyo po yung Chinese Chamber, they will say openly, ease of doing business. May problema kami sa ease of doing business. Pero pag kayo-kayo lang, ang sasabihin nila, corruption po ito. Pero hindi ho yan masabi namin hindi ho namin yan masabi in public. Ang sasabihin namin in public, ease of doing business yung problema namin. But they actually mean corruption. So, Mr. Chairman, if we can actually we invited them but they're not here, no? If we can ask them to come and they can represent the businesses that they represent para makapag-usap po tayo ng maayos. Now, yung random audits po, lessening the power of individuals or the RDOs and the examiners to choose kung sino po yung ma-audit. I think that's welcome. For Secretary Go, ito pong nilolowa po natin, magkano po ba talaga ang pinag-uusapan natin dito na collection? Is it a huge amount compared to the total collections that we need as a country? Or maliit lang po ito?
Mr. Chair, the total collections from these so-called enforcement activities are as follows. In 2023, 63 billion. In 2024, 85 billion. And in 2025, as of October, 78 billion. Roughly po, this is about, well, Attorney Lumagi earlier said that it's roughly around 3% of total collections in recent years.
Okay, it's 3%. Sa tingin niyo po ba understated? Malaki rin siya, hindi po siya maliit na pera. Malaki rin po siya. Do you think, Secretary, that those numbers are understated, meaning it should have been higher, or do you think it should have been lower? Ano pong tingin niyo po? Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Chair, I think it's very hard to speculate. That's a very hypothetical question that I think is quite difficult to respond.
Sige po, maybe a more direct question. Secretary Go, you're of course very known in the business world, in the business sector. Meron din po sigurong lumapit sa inyo at nag-complain tungkol sa BIR.
Absolutely, sir. As a Special Assistant to the President for Investment and Economic Affairs for almost 2 years, the biggest complaint of every investor that has come through my office is the BIR.
Investor meaning foreign firms or local firms?
Both, sir, but mostly foreign.
Foreign, okay. At ito pong mga moves po natin, including this hearing, this is trying to address these concerns, Mr. Secretary. At 3% of collection, kung 3% po yan ng collection, is there a way for us, if more taxpayers just had an escalation every year, I'm sorry, I'm gonna talk policy and hypothetical. If taxpayers agreed to have an escalation every year in terms of their tax payments, can that excuse them from a LOA?
I think that may not be following the law po.
So we can't, but of course, that's why we're here. We can of course amend the law. But would that be feasible? Kunyari, if I escalate at 5% increase, I'll ask Attorney Kim kasi she's shaking her head. Hindi ho yan sound na policy. Kunyari, I'm a taxpayer, in-audit ako ngayon, 10 million. Next year, I agree to increase that by 5% or based on GDP or what. And then that saves me from talking to the BIR, for example. Can a program like that be instituted or that's not possible right now?
Mr. Chair, the tax rates are very specific in the law. For example, the corporate income tax rate is very specific. The value-added tax rate is likewise very specific. So I think to increase based on, for example, in your example of GDP, would probably be prejudicial to those whose businesses have actually gone down, and would be a reward to those businesses who actually have done extremely well.
Better.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
I get that, Mr. Secretary. But tingin ko po even for the businesses na medyo lower, just to make sure na hindi ako kakausapin ng BIR, willing ako magbayad ng premium. No? I mean, ganun ang nangyayari po ngayon. And that's common right now to many businesses. No? But I guess what you're saying is the laws don't allow for this yet.
Yes, Mr.
Okay.
Chair.
Attorney Kim?
Because your presumption is that he's paying the right tax in the first place. But unfortunately, I think 80% of businesses are not paying the right tax in the first place. That's why we need letter of authorities. Because although you're just collecting 3%, the letter of authority push people to comply. If you don't have the letter of authority, this compliance here will fall. Kasi nobody's afraid of being checked. I mean, the letter of authority in itself, whatever you collect from that, pushes compliance. So
Yes, but it pushes compliance. It also can create systems of corruption.
But the thing there, you should solve the problem.
Mhm.
You do not create another problem to solve a problem. You should kick everyone to do their job
Okay,
properly.
let me go back to my question earlier. Kasi po, sa palagay ko kung mailantad po natin yung mga naloa at ma-analyze natin ng maayos, mas makikita talaga natin kung ano po yung ugat ng mga problemang lumalabas ngayon. Of course, the Secretary and the Commissioner are here, and it seems that you're quite serious about addressing this issue. Would you be able to do an analysis of the last 3 years, and we can let members of our offices and the committee also maybe join, and from there we can really find out kung meron mga fake LOA, kung may mga inuulit-ulit na ino-audit, kung meron mga assessment na napakataas initially tapos napakababa ng settlement. We'll be able to find all of this out if we have that data. No, Secretary, are you undertaking this kind of analysis or investigation? And would you be willing to share that with the committee, even in executive session, if ever?
Mr. Chair, all the investigations are actually being conducted at the bureau
Okay.
level, no? At the office of the commissioner. But of course, with my support and my guidance.
All right. Commissioner, nabanggit, hindi ko na po uulitin, pero itong gantong klaseng analysis at investigasyon, maaari niyo po bang gawin ito kasama po ng komite?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will fully cooperate with the committee.
Okay, ano po ang last question? Commissioner, marami pong nakikinig sa atin, no? At marami pong mga maliliit na negosyante, small and medium in particular, who are really concerned and worried about yung mga LOA or yung kinakwento po nilang harassment. Anong reforma po ang gagawin po ng BIR o ginagawa ng BIR para ma-address yung concerns ng mga negosyante po natin?
Yes. Meron po tayong napapag-usapan po kanina yung audit program. Meron naman po tayong existing audit program. In fact, napakarami na ho nating issuances. No? More prominent of which is yung RMO 6/2023. Meron ho kasi tayong dalawang klase ng audit, yung mandatory audit and yung priority audit. So with respect to certain transactions or taxpayers, meron ho talagang mandatory audit. Example is those taxpayers retiring from business, BIR mandatorily conducts audit of them. Or for example, those that have undergone corporate restructuring.
Those are current programs that you're doing. I'm talking about yung current concerns, yung mga nagsulat po kay Senator Erwin, kay Senator JV, mga bumubulong kay Secretary Go, bumubulong po sa akin, bumubulong po sa ilan sa inyo, na may mga concerns po sila. Ang pakiramdam po kasi nila, wala silang matakbuhan. No? Wala silang matakbuhan. Ano po ang pwedeng gawin ng what is the commitment of BIR? Kayo po, bago po kayong commissioner ngayon, what is your commitment to address these concerns of our small and medium business owners?
Well, definitely, Mr. Chair, we commit to address these concerns. That is why immediately we suspended the
Opo.
issuance of
Okay.
letters of authority admission orders, and we created a technical working group to study all of this, and they will come up with recommendations. Nabanggit ko po yung audit program kasi right now ho kasi meron naman talagang risk-based parameters for issuance of letters of authority. Hindi naman po randomly
Yes,
na nagkakandak
we're
na lang
talking
tayo ng
prospectively kasi.
Oo.
I'm talking retroactively. No? Yung mga current na may
Yeah.
concerns po.
One ho, Mr. Chair, is meron ho kasi tayo ng IRIS audit module. Ang problema nga lang ho, hindi pa siya fully operational. Ang idea niya is supposedly, it is the system that will determine the taxpayer that will be audited based on the existing tax information that are already contained in the system. Meron na po tayo na. Ang problema lang ho, hindi po siya fully operational. So that is one reform ho. Make sure that this will be fully operational so that mami-minimize ho natin ang discretion sa pag-determine ng taxpayer that will be subjected to audit.
And I'm commending you for that. But that's moving forward. Ang tanong ko po, yung mga current na nagka-problema o may current na problema. For example, tatawagin ho natin yung mga chambers of commerce dito po in the next hearing. Maghaharap-harap po tayo, di ba? Can they share their stories directly with you and expect action?
Yes po, in fact po, nag-create tayo ng special email account just for audit concerns. Yung tell the commissioner at
And
BIR.gov.
sabi niyo nga po, daan-daan na po yung nakuha niyong...
Oo, binabasa po natin yon at kinukonsider po natin. Marami po mga suggestions doon. Ang dilemma ko lang ho kasi is nagsusumbong sila pero ayaw nilang, they want to keep their identity.
Eh, syempre, takot po sila. Natatakot po sila.
So-
Baka pag-initan. Sa totoo lang.
Yeah.
Di ba?
Tama po yun. At yun po ang balakid sa amin sa pag-conduct ng investigation against this erring personnel. Kasi kung i-forward ko po ito for the conduct of a formal
No,
investigation.
and to be fair to the examiners, you should also investigate what the information that they give you, 'di ba? Na totoo talaga. Pero yung point ko lang po is nakikinig po ang taong bayan ngayon. Meron silang naging bad experience and ano nga, on the record sinabi naman natin marami talagang gustong magsumbong. Kung may lalapit po ngayon sa inyong tanggapan, do they fill out a form? They email you? Right now you're saying i-email po kayo. Masasagot po ba sila in 2 weeks, in 1 week, in 3 days?
Yeah. Sasagutin po namin ang concern nila.
Sasagutin niyo po. And we can expect action. Sige po. So maybe in the next hearing, we will ask, and if need be in an executive session, pagharap-harapin po natin itong mga nangahas na magbigay ng kanilang complaint. And babantayan po natin na meron talagang action po dito. Kasi, masabi ho natin, 62,000 lang yan. That's still 62,000 Filipinos who are business owners, who are doing their best for their families, who are trying to provide employment, who are supporting the national economy as well. At mahalaga po na pakiramdam nila, ang mga ahensya ng gobyerno, nasa panig nila. Diba? So sige po, we will also be collating more of these complaints and forwarding it to you, Attorney Mendoza. No? Thank you. Maraming salamat. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Senator Robin Padilla is supposed to be next, but is giving way to Senator Tulfo.
Thank you, the gentleman from Nueva Vizcaya and Barm. Camarines Norte and Barm also. Anyway, nandito po ba si Mr. Benedicto Bacani ng VAT Assessment Section, Makati? Is that you?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Good morning.
Mr. Bacani, ilang tax assessments ang ipinalabas po ninyo simula na mag-take over kayo dyan sa Makati? Ilang tax assessment na po ang pinirmahan ninyo at tinilabas? Would you happen to know?
When you say, sir, when you say tax assessment, sir, or
Opo.
LOA, sir?
LOA po para sa tax assessment. Opo, definitely.
Sir, possible hindi accurate yung numbers na may bibigay ko because yung nag-monitor kasi sir nung LOA namin is naka-leave siya ngayon. No,
Puipirma, di ba?
no sir.
Hindi ka puipirma.
No sir.
Ano lang?
I'm the head of VAT, sir. The revenue officer and the group supervisor discusses their findings or assessment with me. I recommend.
So you're in charge doon sa assessment ng VAT, tama?
Yes, sir.
Okay. My next question is, yung pinapadala nyo na VAT assessment, hindi po ba bloated? Sobrang laki po. Hindi po nagtutugma. At pinipilit ho ninyo na kayo yung tama, yung nagbayad ng VAT na negosyante, pinapakita niya ang dokumento niya, sa sinasabi ninyo, hindi, malaki yung deficiency mo.
Sir, as I have said, no, yung assessment, sir, is based on the procedures. We are following the procedures. And also, the taxpayer has the right to protest our assessment.
Paano po sila mag-protest, sir?
After giving them, sir, the notice of discrepancy,
Okay?
they can see there the details of the discrepancy. For example, sir, there's an under declaration.
All right?
They would show us that all of their official receipts or sales invoices was recorded and declared in their VAT returns.
Okay. Ilan doon sa
Senator
mga...
Erwin, excuse me. Senator Secretary Go. You're supposed to leave at 12 because you have a meeting.
Oh, yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair, with I beg the indulgence of the
Yes,
committee, if
Of
I may
course.
be excused.
Yeah, thank you very much for your presence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ilan po doon sa mga nag-submit sa inyo ng mga papel and explanation ang hindi po ninyo tinanggap at tinanggihan ninyo intentionally? Ilan po ang hindi ninyo tinanggap? Pag-submit po nila ng documents nila, syempre sabi po ninyo, pwede po sila mag-reklamo, di po ba? Pwede sila mag-sabi na hindi, mali po kayo. So magsasubmit po sila ng dokumento. Ilan sa mga negosyante o businesses ang hindi po ninyo tinanggap ang kanilang paliwanag, ang kanilang mga dokumento? Ilan po? Sige po.
Sir, again, for notice of discrepancy, for NOD, sir, the examiner and the group supervisor receives the protest. For PAN and FLD, sir, it
So
is,
hindi po nakakarating sa inyo po yung mga papel po, dokumento nung in-audit na pinadalan letter of authority. Hindi kayo binibigyan ng kopya o meron din?
wala, sir.
Hindi kayo binibigyan ng kopya.
Only the
Paano
exam-
siya magpapaliwanag, sir, na tama yung binayaran niya kung wala kayo natatanggap? Kayo po ang sa VAT po. We're talking of VAT here. Di po ba? Kayo yung sa VAT in charge?
Yes, sir.
O kaya nga po, pag pinakita niyo po yung mga dokumento, kung hindi ka nakakatanggap ng papeles, paano mo malalaman na tama yung binayaran niya? Sino nag-a-assess po nun?
The examiner, sir, and the group
So
supervisor.
yung examiner.
Yes, sir.
So yung examiner magsasabi sa iyo na mali or tama ito. Tama po ba? So wala ka nang pakialam kay tama ang examine o hindi.
I will review, sir, yung procedures done by the
Kaya
examiner.
nga, in the very first place, bakit inisyuhan yung negosyante o negosyo na questionable yung VAT? Paano mo na monitor? Hearsay? O meron ka rin talagang pinagbabasihan?
We have guides, sir.
You have guide.
Yes,
So
sir.
na monitor mo kung na ito si X-Business Corporation, alam mo kung nagbayad siya ng tama o hindi. Ng VAT.
After the audit, sir.
After the audit. Kaya nga po, tama.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So papadalhan mo. Pag mali, papadalhan mo ng letter of authority para ma-assess ng examiner. Tama ho.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Ngayon, magpapaliwanag siya kay examiner. Examiner, tama naman. Ito po, binayaran ko. Ito yung resibo ko eh. Hindi ka binibigyan ng examiner. Tama naman pala ito, Mr. Bacani. Ang binayaran ni X-Business Corporation. Tama naman pala. O hindi ka binibigyan. Paano mo malalaman ngayon na tama yung binayaran niya kung hindi mo tatanggapin? Because sabi dito, hindi intentional ayaw po ninyong tanggapin.
There were no instructions like hindi pwedeng tanggapin, sir.
So
Oo.
kaya nga, so wala. So lahat po tinatanggap ninyo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mr. Bacani, remember, you're under oath, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Baka mapasama ka sa baba nila Diskaya. Next question ko po sa inyo, sir, is pag hindi po ninyo kasi tinatanggap, pumupunta kayo sa legal division para mag-issue ng duces tecum. Ito po yung kahit na yung dokumento na ipresenta na po sa legal officer na ni-reject naman ninyo, siyempre, pag may duces tecum po sa PINA, enforcement na po ang susunod na sa PINA. Siyempre, mangyayari po dyan, magkakaroon po ng warrant of arrest sa negosyante. Si negosyante, napipuwersa po na mag-post ng bail or makikipag-negotiate. Pwede po ninyong tanggihan. So wala pang incident na gano'n, Mr. Bacani.
Sir, with regards to SDT, we
Ano po yung SDT, sir? Hindi ako BIR.
subpoena duces tecum,
duces
sir.
tecum. Sige.
The taxpayer were given a checklist of documents to be submitted. Sometimes, sir, taxpayers only submit their returns without supporting documents like ORs or SIs issued or yung support for their input taxes. So, for VAT, sir, we have 90 days to finish our audit. So, possible the RO and group supervisor cannot assess the taxpayers based on limited documents submitted. So they are forced to elevate the case to the legal division, sir, for an issuance of subpoena.
Nga po, kasi nga po, yung dokumento na sinasabit ho nila, kompleto naman daw ho. Kaya tinatanong kita kanina, tinatanggap mo ba? Sabi mo, tinatanggap mo naman. Bakit ho nakakaabot? Nagpapaliwanag ho sila, hindi ho ninyo tinatanggap. Alright, di bali ho, sige. Ang next katanungan ko po sa inyo, Mr. Bacani, mayroong ilan dito na under po sa inyong distrito na nagdidemand po ang inyong, not necessarily yung ikaw mismo, kundi opisina mo ng 20 million, of which only 4 million ang nakaresibo. Yung 16 po, wala na resibo. May idea ho ba kayo na ganito? Na may mga koleksyon kayo na 4 million lang nire-resibo. Pwede po bang makita yung mga or sa mga lowa na po yung sa examiner na po yung magbibigay ng resibo?
Sir, taxpayers are given results of
Sandali lang, sir.
investigation.
Sandali lang, matagal ka sumagot. Commissioner Mendoza, sino ho nagbibigay ng resibo pagka pumunta ang examiner, in-assess niya, tapos yung resibo, sino nagbibigay ng resibo? Yung examiner mismo or yung Revenue District Office? Sino pa nagbibigay ng resibo? Sino nag-i-issue ng resibo?
They pay it through the banks, Mr. Chair.
Yeah, kaya nga
Meron po
na
sila.
ito lang yung so yung pinaka-resibo yung i-deposit sa bangko. So wala nang give me a second yeah, go ahead po Commissioner and Attorney Henares. Go ahead.
Yeah.
ma'am.
When you will be given an 0605, it's a payment form.
All right.
With the payment form, you go to the bank, or now you pay online. So that's basically your receipt, the 0605.
How will the main office know, Attorney Henares, na yun lang talagang babayaran mo? Eh kung in-assess pala siya na bloated, pero ang resibo lang is ganun lang sa 0605, may difference na po kaagad. He was assessed with this X amount, ilang millions po yan. Pagkatapos, suddenly, assessment 20 million. 4 million lang resibo. Namomonitor po ba ng BIR na 16 million nawawala? Hindi siya nagbayad ng 16 million? Kulang siya ng 16?
Yun na nga yun nasa ELAM, diba? Kailangan i-input nyo magkano yung preliminary assessment notice na amount na deficiency. Pagdating sa final assessment notice, mag-i-input ka na naman magkano yung deficiency. Ngayon, pagbabayaran mo na para masira yung LAM, mag-i-input ka na naman 0605, magkano ba talaga binayaran. So pwede nyo ngayon i-compare, kung yari sa example nyo, 20 million.
Opo.
20 million
20.
preliminary assessment, final assessment, same, 20 million. Tapos pagdating sa 0605, 4 million, bakit naging ganun?
Assuming na na-record.
So pwede nyo ho siya i-monitor. Kasi dapat nun, yung payment mo, meron ka rin isang documentation na yung parang tinanggap mo yung mga protest niya. So nagbago ka ng assessment bago ka mag-0605. Kasi kung hindi ka tumalon ka, di may issue na ho yan. Kasi kung ganun same amount, tapos 0605 mo, hindi. That's question mark.
Kaya nga, Attorney Henares, sino po ang nagmo-monitor nito? Na, kulang.
Actually, yun...
Meron ba bang mas mataas dun sa examiner na yun o sa nagmo-monitor ng
Ang
0605?
nagmo-monitor yan, Office of the Commissioner yan eh.
So sa office ng commissioner pa rin po?
Kasi yung system na yan, kasama na yan yung Deputy Commissioner for Operations, siya rin yung pwede mag-monitor. Depende ho kung sino binibigyan ng access dun sa ELAM na yan, no? May mga access authority yan. Pero the Office of the Commissioner will monitor that because he has complete access to it. Then the Deputy Commissioner for Operations should also have an access to that.
Thank you, Attorney Henares. Mr. Chair.
No, pwede natin pasupin na siguro to Stecom yung PAN, yung FAN, di ba? Para ma-compare natin yung final, yung 0506, ko-compare natin. Kasi kung puro verbal yan, magbayad ka ng 20 million, nagkasundo lang sila verbally, sige, okay na tayo sa 20 million, hati tayo sa ganito, wala tayong pagbabasihan na record.
And yan ang nangyayari ngayon, Mr. Chair, yan po yung reklamo ng mga negosyante. Yung iba naman, they're willing victims na okay, makakatipid. Pero yung iba naman talaga, Mr. Chair, talaga sobrang assessment, areglo na lang. Okay, my next question, Mr. Bacani, hindi pa po ako tapos sa'yo. Yes, Mr. Commissioner, we want that record sa yung binanggit sa record ng Makati po.
Yeah.
We want do po yung PAN at saka LAN po.
PAN.
Yes, PAN, can you, 0506, can you submit it in this committee? to this committee?
Yeah, we will submit po the request.
This was 2020. Kailan ka po nag-umpisa na nag-head po sa Makati, Mr. Bacani?
January 2024, sir.
January 2024 po, Commissioner Mendoza to the present. January 2024 po, Commissioner Mendoza to the present.
Voluminous lang po yung kung lahat ng fan notices of discrepancy that were issued from 2024 to 2025.
Well, bat lang naman po eh.
Okay
Yung
po.
batas lang po eh.
Yes po,
Yung-
Mr. Chair.
Kasi yun po yung sinasabi na nagrereklamo laban po kay Mr. Bacani, puro bat po yung kanyang, siya po yung head doon sa bat.
Mhm. Okay.
All right, thank you. Mr. Lumagi, I have another question here. Okay. At kapag hindi po nakikipag-compromise si negosyante, kagad po ninyong dininame drop po yung inyong commissioner para takutin po sila. Tama po ba ito? Kaya minsan kawawa din itong commissioner, dating commissioner ninyo, si Commissioner Lumagi. Kaya lumalabas sa mga ilang kalukuhan yung kanyang pangalan. Yung pala, gasgas na gasgas yung kanyang pangalan. True or not? Yes or no? Mr. Bacani.
No, sir. I have never used
Kaya,
the name
yes
of the
or no
commission.
lang, na
No,
hindi nyo ginagamit si pangalan ni Lumagi.
no, sir.
Alright. Tapos, pinagsasubmit nyo sila ng back statement pag medyo may katigasan yung ng ulo ang taxpayer, ayaw po sumunod sa kalakaran, kailangan nila isubmit ang bank statement. Tama po ba yun, yung proseso na yun? Pag medyo hindi sumunod, kailangan ipasubmit ang bank statements nila para malaman nyo kung magkano ang kinita nyo. Bagamat ito po ay violation, direct violation ng Bank Secrecy Law under Republic Act number 1405? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. In some cases.
In some cases, pinapasubmit ninyo ng bank statements. Tama po ba ito, Mr. Commissioner? Kailangan ba mag-submit ng bank statement? How is this?
As hindi,
Okay, Commissioner, sandali lang po. Let me just ask Commissioner Attorney Henares kasi I know your excuse kasi bago lang po kayo dyan. Go ahead, Attorney Henares. Based on your
Because of the bank secrecy law, you cannot, we cannot access bank account, no. But I think there's a revision on the anti-money laundering law that says you can ask predicate crime in tax evasion if the amount is 25 million or above. So that might be an exception to the bank secrecy law, no, that you can get the information. But generally, we cannot ask for information about banks because of that law that prevent us.
What kind of exception is this,
Yung
Attorney Henares?
anti-money laundering law, di ba? When a predicate crime is a tax evasion of 25 million or more, that's the exception.
And the BIR can unilaterally?
No, can ask
Ask the bank.
AMLA for information.
AMLA.
Yeah, so it's a way to circumvent the bank secrecy law.
That's my next question.
Through the AMLA, but not direct to the
Yeah, that's why
account
not.
holder.
Yeah, you
Account holder.
ask from AMLA.
Illegal.
Yes.
Illegal yung ginagawa.
Kaya nga, Mr. Chair, ang sinasabi ko, tinatanong ko si Mr. Bacani, diretso ho kayo na hinihingi nyo yung bank statement ng individual taxpayer. Sige po, nakakuha po kayo, nanumpa kayo kanina na hindi kayo magsisinungaling. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. But bank statement, sir, cannot be, hindi siya pwedeng isubpoena, sir.
Hindi nga subpoena, hinihingi nun ninyo i-submit sa inyo. Kapag hindi po nag-submit, ang ginagawa po ninyo, humahanap po kayo ng contact sa bangko po dahil alam nyo na may bank secrecy law at yung mga contact po niyo sa bangko, yung po yung tinitignan, yung taxpayer, yung kanyang bank deposits, nakakuha po kayo without asking permission or asking the help of AMLAC. True or false? Yes or no?
False, sir.
False, sige. Alright. Alright. Ngayon, Mr. Bacani, kilala niyo rin ho ba itong si Regional Director Dante Tan? Friends po ba kayo ito? Friendship kayo? Yes or no?
Naging ARD ko siya, sir, from last year to September, sir, last year.
So, superior mo.
Yes,
Itong
sir.
si Dante Tan. Alright. So, hindi si Commissioner Lumagi ang contact mo, kundi ang connection mo talaga itong si Regional Director Dante Tan na ika nga malapit kay Commissioner Lumagi. Okay. So, ito ho yung problema ngayon, di po ba? At dahil po dito sa taong ito, na-promote kayo na na-promote. Okay? Ngayon, ito po, pwede nyo sagutin ito, hindi, pwede deny. Kayo ho ba ay meron kayong tara or quota na 50 million every week para po sa OCOM?
Wala po, sir.
Wala Sure.
Sure, sir.
Okay, I'll remember that Sige. All right. Isa pa. Ano ho mga ilang bahay po meron kayo, Mr. Bacani? At saan po ay mga bahay ninyo? How many houses? Kasi po, pwede ko po ito ipacheck. Maski na pag nagsinungaling kayo, baka sa next hearing po natin, ilalagay ho kita sa ibaba. Sa detention facility natin. Ilang bahay at sasakyan meron po kayo?
Sir, on my SALN,
No. I'm not asking you,
Yes, sir.
I'm asking you now, how many houses and where is this houses that you have? At ilan po sasakyan ninyo at ano-ano mga sasakyan po ito?
2, sir.
2 houses.
Yes, sir.
Saan po ito mga bahay na ito?
Quezon City, sir.
Saan sa Quezon City?
Yung isa, sir, na sir, lot na lang siya is Paltok.
Paltok. Yung isa po, saan kayo nakatira?
Sa Embassy Garden Home, sir.
Embassy Garden Homes. Okay. Ilan po ang sasakyan ninyo?
Sir, 2.
Ano-ano mga sasakyan ninyo?
Honda, sir.
Tsaka,
Yung sa wife ko, sir, Honda rin.
2 lang po sasakyan ninyo. Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Wala na ho? Wala na?
Wala na, sir.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir.
Magkano po ang salary ninyo if you will not, can you state magkano po ang inyong take-home pay, sir? A month?
60, sir.
60,000
Yes, sir.
a month.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chair, that's all for me. I'll reserve my questions later on.
With the permission of Senator Padilla, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, connected lang kasi para hindi maalis according to the report that we gathered, I think Senator Tulfo has this also. BIR Makati, which is Mr. Bacani here, released LOAS after the Commissioner Mendoza stopped all LOAS. Sinuspend ninyo muna yung mga LOAS pero nag-release pa rin daw ang Makati. Why? Kailan yan? Kailan kayo huling nag-release ng LOA?
Sir, ang last, sir, na pagkakatanda ko ng printing namin, sir, is March. Meron lang kasi, sir, print yung mga reinvestigation, sir. Pero yung new LA, sir, I think March, sir, yung last namin.
When did you stop the LOAS, the issuances of LOAS?
Suspension of issuance of LOAS was issued on November 24 po.
November.
24, Mr. Chair.
Pero yung
Mr.
huling
President.
LOA nyo yung nirelease kailan? Hindi, March yung sinasabi yung date. Kailan yung
I'll check our records, sir. Pero after the suspension of our commissioner, sir, we have no contacts with taxpayer except for those with prescribing cases or yung investigation for 2023 and prior years.
Hindi, after the suspension, nag-release na pa rin daw kayo eh. Antedated nga lang.
No, sir. We never did that. We never did that,
So,
sir.
when was the last one?
Can I check our record, sir? Pero I definitely I'm sure, sir, na we never antedated, sir. Or sir, because printing of law was for Batas, sir, is encoded in our division and approved by the regional director. So there's a approving authority, sir, for the printing of LOA. So we cannot, in my section, sir, we cannot print alone LOAs,
Hindi centralized?
sir.
Hindi centralized. Yung printing, sabi mo. Yung printing.
Ang printing, sir, sa amin, pero it must be approved by the regional director, sir.
Centralized sa commissioner's office yung printing. Kala ko meron kayong system na lahat ng LOAs naka-record dyan.
Yeah, meron po. Yung ELAMS po, Mr. Chair. So, electronically generated po ang LOA.
Well, the complaint and the claim here is that you released the law after kahit na ano na. Ang sinasabi nyo ngayon is kasi dati yan or baka mag-prescribe kaya na. Yung ba sinasabi nyo? Parang gano'n, intindi ko sa sagot ninyo eh.
Sir, pwedeng i-check
Dati
muna
na
yung
yun.
ano, sir. Pero para sa akin, sir, wala akong matandaan na print namin na LOA. I-check ko lang, sir, yung record kasi sumunod naman kami dun sa directive, sir, or sa instruction ng commissioner.
Eh baka isa o dalawa lang yan eh. Bakit checkin mo pa? Hindi mo masagot ngayon.
Wala akong matandaan, sir, na in-instruct ko na i-print.
Sige, baka alam na namin ang sagot. Go ahead. Mr. Chairman, and that.
Senator Robin Padilla is recognized.
Maraming salamat po sa aming pininong higit, Senator Panfilo Lacson, at sa amin pong ginong Pangulo, Senator Vicente Soto III, at sa amin pong boses ng masa, Senator Erwin Tulfo. Sa lahat po ng aming panauhin, isang magandang tanghali na po. Ako po'y siguro naitanong na po ng lahat. Yung akin na lang pong katanungan makapagbibigay ng hinga sa inyo. At alam ko naman po, at alam naman lahat, sa buong mundo, taxman lagi ang kinakatakutan ng tao. Nasa Biblia nga po kayo eh. Kaya pagpasensyahan niyo po kung marami po kami mga katanungan dahil bilang kami po ay senador, kami po ang boses naman ng taong bayan. Kaya yung amin pong mga tanong sa inyo, hindi po para idiin kayo, o hindi para tanungin lamang po kayo. At ito po mga tanong ko naman po ay hindi naman po ganun kabigat. Katulad po ng mga tanong ng boses ng masa. Ang tanong ko lang po ay, katulad po halimbawa, ako po ay may panukala patungkol po sa freedom of information. Gusto ko lamang pong malaman kung ang mga tauhan po ba ng BIR ay nagpa-file din po ba kayo ng SALN? Lahat po, obligado po kayo. Kasi po kami, sa utos po ng aming Ginoong Pangulo, ipinablish po yung aming SALN. Sa inyo po ba may pagkakataon na magpapublish din po ba kayo ng inyong SALN? Pwede po bang itanong yan sa atin pong commissioner sa ngayon?
Ang SALN naman po, these are public documents.
Opo, so
this can be accessed.
So katulad po ng, ay hindi po, kasi sa amin po talagang in-order po sa amin ng aming ginoong Pangulo na ilabas namin ng aming salin. Wala po kaming nagawa. Kayo po, bilang commissioner, dadating po ba ang punto na yon na para po mawala yung agam-agam ng ang mga taong bayan, meron po bang ganun na pwede po kayong gawin?
Titingnan po namin yon. Meron pong 16,500 na kawani ang Bureau of Internal Revenue.
Ay, makaligayahan po ng taong bayan yan. Kahit po mapuno ang social media, kaligayahan po nila yan. Kasi kami din po, sa utos din po ng aming ginoong Pangulo, na lifestyle check po kami. Pwede po bang mangyari din po yan sa inyo? May utos nyo ang lifestyle check?
In fact ho, meron nga ho tayong mga ahensya na ng gobyerno na nagkakandak naman po ng lifestyle checks.
Apo, kayo po, ginagawa nyo po sa BIR. Para wala na po yung mga tanong na ilan ang kotse mo, ilan ang ano mo, mga ganyan, ilan ang bahay mo, ilan asawa mo, yung mga ganun po.
Magagawa po namin yan sa BIR.
Opo, malaking bagay po yan. Opo, kasi alam nyo po, ang atin pong bayan ay dumadaan sa napakatinding pagsubok. Kapag tayo po ay naging transparent sa tao, ay makakalma po sila. Sa panahon po kasi ngayon, talagang ang tao po sa totoo lang po, ang dami ko pong pinuntahan ng mga pagpupulong, ang gusto po ng karamihang grupo ay wag nang magbayad ng tax. Civil disobedience po ang nais nila. Ako po na po yung nagsasabi, wag niyong gagawin yan. Dahil hindi naman po lahat ng tao sa gobyerno ay may kapalpakan. Kaya ako na po ang nakikiusap na sana maging transparent po tayo lahat. Lahat po. Para ang taong bayan hindi na po nag-iisip ng mga civil disobedience o ano-ano mang mga bagay na makaka-disrupt pa po ng gobyerno natin. Isa na lang pong tanong, Commissioner. Ako po kasi, nung panahon nung ako po ay artista pa, ako din po ay naging revolusyonaryo. Lagi ko pong inaaway ang gobyerno. At noong mga panahon na yon, na-weaponize po sa akin ang tax. Ako po'y nadali talaga ng tax. Ngayon po ba mapapangako niyo po sa akin na hindi na po yan magagamit para maipit ang mga nagsasalita ng hindi, alam niyo man po, ng kanilang kalooban sa gobyerno?
Ang tagubilin po sa atin ng ating Pangulo ay mangolekta ng buwis efficiently and fairly.
Fairly.
Fairly. So, ibig sabihin po, ang kolektahin lamang, ayun nararapat talagang dapat bayaran ng taxpayer at hindi ito dapat ginagamit na instrumento para i-oppress or gipitin yung mga tao for other reasons other than
Tao
collecting
at
the rightful
negosyo po.
taxes.
Tao at negosyo.
Totoo po yan.
Opo. Nakasumpa po kayo, Commissioner, ha? Nakita ko kayo kanina.
Opo, pinapangako po natin yan.
Yun lamang po. Maraming salamat po, Ginoong Pinunong Higit. Salamat po.
Before we wind up, kasi nakakuha kami ng report na yung dating ELAM wala na, di ba? Pinalitan na ng IRIS.
Yeah. Yes, po.
Internal Revenue Integrated System. Ang nag-handle nito, yung Information System Group.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Ang sabi niya, ang report namin dito, wala kayong basis na i-compare yung PAN, yung FAN, at saka O506 kasi wala raw laman. Kindly investigate, Commissioner.
Yun nga po ang dahilan. Kaya
Yun nga,
po ang
bakit walang
tinutukoy.
laman?
Yun nga po.
Sinadya ba yan? Para wala tayong mabalikan na records. Kasi yun ang basis natin, sabi nga ni Attorney Kim, ni Com Kim, di ba? Na madali lang yan, may red flag kung ito yung PAN, ito yung FAN, tapos biglang bumagsak doon sa O506, meron tayong basihan para magsagawa ng investigation. Kung walang laman yung IRIS, anong gagawin natin?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Kaya nga po, yan po ang utos natin after natin isuspend yung audits. Is for, yung po ang ibig sabihin
That's one of
natin
the
to submit
reasons.
inventory to update the information in the ELAM. Kasi nga po, hindi ho regularly na-update din.
Yeah, ang problema
yung
dito
status
is
ng
quits
LOA.
na lahat yung nakaraan.
Kinakailangan pong i-update po nila.
Can we still reconstruct?
We can do that po.
Mr. Chair.
At
Please
ginagawa
do that.
na po natin yan.
Specifically yung sa case ng Makati because there are a lot of questions eh.
Mr. Chair, if
Yes,
you want,
Senator
please.
Erwin.
According to my source po sa BIR, an employee, nakakita po ng gray area, yan nga po na walang laman, yung sinasabi niyong iris. Nakita po nila na walang laman. So hindi po machi-check kahit sinong investigating body kung magkano ang binabayad sa gobyerno, magkano ang ang inassess, magkano lang napunta sa gobyerno. Kasi nga po walang laman siya, Commissioner. So you really have to investigate that. And kung po pwedeng reconstruct po. Dahil sigurado po ako, Mr. Commissioner, lahat ito mauubos. Mawawalan ka ng mga RDO at saka mga batas. Are you planning to make a reshuffle very soon, sir? Kasi halos lahat po itong mga nasa harap po natin, nirereklamo po. Wala na lang po kaming oras kasi lahat po ito gusto kong tanungin isa-isa. Kaso sabi po ni Chair, the next meeting na lang ulit. So, are you planning to do a reshuffle very soon?
Yes po, Mr. Chair. Magkakaroon po tayo ng reshuffling very soon.
Okay, from hindi lang po sa NCR kundi maging sa mga different provinces, Mr. Chair.
Yes po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Kailan nyo na-discover na walang laman yung iris nyo?
Po, nung chinek na ho namin yung status.
Pag-take over
hindi
mo,
po update.
nung chinek, walang laman.
Hindi po updated ang status.
Ang report sa amin, walang laman eh. Hindi lang hindi updated. But the thing is, if you can still reconstruct manually or through some other means, please do that. Kasi we will be able to unearth a lot of information. Yes, Attorney Kim.
Actually, you can, because all the docket should be there. So if there's no information there, that's an accountability of the revenue officer and the RDO and the group supervisor. And actually, because you did not fill it up, dapat hindi nakaka-issue ng bagong LA sa'yo. Kasi hindi close yun. Meron inventory lang ho ang bawat examiner. I think you have 30. If you 30 open na hindi mo close kasi hindi ka makaka-generate ng bagong LA para sa examiner na yan. And the docket is your accountability. So, kailangan ho ma-reconstruct yan. Kasi yung mga docket, hindi naman pwedeng iwala yan.
So, in the next hearing, in-expect namin na makapag-submit kayo ng specifically doon sa may mga questionable.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
VAT-as or whatever, no?
Apo.
Mag-enjoy muna tayo magpasko, especially kayo. After Christmas, after New Year na tayo kasi nasa LOA pa lang tayo, wala pa tayo sa raft, ha? Wala pa tayo sa mga ibang task forces and ang dami pang questions doon. Kasi yung RAFT is another issue that we have to tackle in this hearing or succeeding hearings. And the other, how many task forces have been created under Commissioner Lumagi?
Yung ano po bale, yung RAFT po at saka may mga yung special task force na hindi na kinakaya ng NID like yung kasi meron din po yung pagka masyado na marami like itong sa flood control kailangan talagang tulungan at i-augment yung NID. That's why there's another task force para dun sa mga ganong cases.
Anyways, next hearing na lang natin pag-usapan kasi medyo late na rin yung Senate President.
No, just unsolicited advice. Total break. Enjoyin daw muna yung Pasko. Pero kung maaari, umpisahan nyo na rin imbestigahan. Total, bago kayo dyan. Mas magandang clean slate. Umpisahan nyo na imbestigahan itong mga complaints na ito. Sa mga ini-email at saka yung mga aligasyon laban doon sa mga ninyo. Tara pag-shuffle ninyo, magandang itsura ninyo. Diba? Salamat. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Pangit kaniyang digitalization how long will it take para makapuli digitalize yung BIR? Yan ang sakit natin kasi hanggat mayroong human contact, hindi natin maalis yung hindi tayo makakasolve ng gusto nating isolve. Pag binawasan natin or minimize or at least eliminate or at most eliminate, marami tayong ma-accomplish siguro. Yes, Attorney King.
Actually, the BIR is digitalized. It's just that whenever we digitalize something, we put up a different system, and those systems does not talk to each other. The Irish, the one that's now being done, which was started even during my time, is to link all of this together. Kasi information from here feeds to the next. Unless nakalink sila, hindi mo ma-maximize yung mga digital data ng BIR. Kasi now, naka-silo siya. So kung magpapa-imbestiga ang BIR, kailangan sabihin niya sa IT, gumawa ka ng program para i-match ito. Kasi galing dito, galing doon. So itong IRIS na ito is parang kino-consolidate ng lahat. Pero lahat na data na yan, digital yan. The other thing is, kailangan gamitin. Kasi maski mag-digital kayo, kung hindi naman gagamitin at hindi kaya we were forced, that's why the LA system, you have to encode, otherwise it will not come out. Then dapat noon may inventory yan na pag-open yan, dapat hindi ka nag-i-issue para dun sa exam.
There must be a disciplinary mechanism na pagka yung dinadown yung system, may sagutin dapat. Kasi kung deliberate, pagkatapos wala namang ginagawa yung commissioner, talagang deliberately they will find a way na mawala, na hindi magamit yung system.
Yeah, but yun nga, like I've always said, even how nice the system, at the end of the day, it's people running
Yes.
it. So the people have to,
I remember during the time of Commissioner Guerrero sa BOC,
yeah.
I asked them point blank kung naka-fully automated na sila. Sabi niya hindi. And then that was during the budget deliberation. Sabi ko, how much would you need to fully automate? Kasi ang experience natin, ang laki ng export record ng China to the Philippines. Pag kinumpir mo yung import record ng Pilipinas from China, naku, ang laki ng discrepancy. So dahil ang daming technical at saka mga under declaration, precisely, we're not fully automated.
I think the
So tinanong ko,
BIR
ang
has
sagot sa akin, magkano kailangan nyo? Sabi sa akin, 15 billion. Budget delivery, sabi ko, I'll find a way to realign 15 billion. Just give me the details as per your requirements. Hindi na nagsubmit. Ibig sabihin, hindi interesado. So now, I'd like to ask BIR the same question for the 2027 budget, assuming na nandiyan pa si Commissioner Mendoza.
magkano pa
To fully automate or digitalize, yon pag-aralan nyo na kung magkano. And kami, magtulong-tulong tayo, budgetan natin, pero gamitin.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Kasi alam nyo, dalawa tama ng publiko eh. Expenditure side, ito yung series of hearings na ginawa namin 7 hearings. That's only the expenditure side. And mind you, we've been losing hundreds of billions of pesos in public funds. Ito expenditure, revenue side. Ganon din. So dalawa tama eh. Magkabilang leeg eh. So at least ma-correct natin man lang yung, at least ma-minimize natin, malaking tulong sa government or sa mamamayan for that matter. Yes, Commissioner.
Yes, Mr. Chair. But just to inform lang po the committee, the Bureau of Internal Revenue has a very detailed digital transformation roadmap. It consists of several projects. Kaya nga ho, meron na tayo mga, sa latest data natin, 93% of our tax returns are being filed online.
Ang problema nga, nawawala yun. Wala doon sa IRIS yun. Yun lang, isang district lang. Gusto natin compare yung PAN, yung FAN, yung O506, wala tayong basihan.
Yeah, updating lang po yun at inuutos ko na po yun sa mga kawani ng BIR
Please.
at ginagawa po nilang updating ngayon.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. So we will suspend and until further notice, but I assure you, we won't be calling a hearing before Christmas and before New Year. So happy holidays. See you in 2026.
Yeah. Maraming salamat po, Mr.